Nigel, I'll let you start things off here because you were actually just talking to the coaching staff of the Bulldogs. So lay this one out for me.
Yeah, one, this is going to be a challenge for Wazoo. Luckily, it's at home. Louisiana Tech they got some Ruston, Louisiana. They got some Louisiana boys now. I don't know if you've been to Ruston, Louisiana,
No.
but in talking to the coaching staff, they're like, look, here's the deal. When we recruit guys, we go, listen, there's three things here: hunting, fishing, football. They play two quarterbacks. They go 7 deep on the offensive line every game, which is like, wow. Most teams don't do that, right? But they have a level of depth. They play hard. They've got playmakers. They take the ball away. And so, one thing that we've talked about before is, you got good Zevi and bad Zevi Eckhouse. And if good Zevi shows up, Washington State should and I'm gonna go should have beaten Virginia, should have really beaten Ole Miss. And so, this is going to be a big challenge for the Cougs.
The Cougs, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I don't know what to think of the Cougs very much. I've liked this team all year long, Yammer and Nige. I really have. I like the way they play. I think they're well organized. I think they're a good team playing with FCS players is what I see. But they win some football games. I like their defense. I like them at home. Zevi had an awful game against Oregon State. They've had a week to regroup. Hopefully they have. I really don't know what to make of the Cougs, but I've liked them all year long. Louisiana Tech, I have not seen them play, but I'm sure they have some cats. I'll bet they have some speed. And Nigel just telling me all these turnovers, and they got 7 offensive linemen, that they play. They could be a very tough team, but we'll see. We'll see when they get together here on Saturday.
Coach, you make reference to you liking this Washington State defense. Last 4 games for them, they're averaging about 15 points per game, allowed pretty good number for them. As Nigel made reference to, he talked about those takeaways. 15 of those takeaways have been interceptions. That's the 5th most in the country. Does this, guys, become a game of if it's good Zevi, handle business. If it's bad Zevi, and the guy that's thrown 6 picks in the last 3 games against a defense that can turn you over a little bit, is it as simple as that's what this game comes down to?
Well, I think there's going to be a couple of things that come into factor. One, this offense is predicated at Washington State on running the football. Like
Sure.
if they don't run the football, it's a problem, right? Because then everything falls on Zebi, and Zebi has the ability to carry a football team if he'll kind of just get us out of his own way, which that's what cost them against Oregon State. If you ask me, they just could not get out of their own way, which is not what Jimmy Rogers coach teams do. They don't do the things to hurt themselves. They don't make dumb penalties. They don't play over emotional. They don't, they don't turn the ball over. They don't do those things. And that's what we saw this team do throughout the weeks, is get better and better and better. And all of a sudden they got to Oregon State, and next thing you know, got chippy, and guys were getting personal foul penalties, and they returned the ball over and all these different things. And so if they go back to that, I think they have a chance. I think obviously takeaways is always the biggest number, but also Louisiana Tech is pretty decent at stop and run. And here's the thing that'll blow your mind for a air raid Mike Leach inspired offense. They run the football. They have balance. They throw the ball for almost as many yards or a little bit more yards than they run. They run the ball on average 171 yards per game. So they're not afraid to stick the ball in the running back's hand and then go step on your face. So I just think there's a lot of things that are coming to play, but obviously takeaways will all be takeaways are the key in every single game. But yeah, man, strap it up. This is going to be a 4-quarter fight.
Yeah. All right. We got our game picks on this one coming up a little bit later. I do want to shift our attention to an Oregon State team that, Nige, you were on the sidelines for this one. Coach, you watched the game against Sam Houston. From a statistical standpoint, let me just rewind for a second. From an emotional standpoint, it's hard to fathom this loss. When you look at the statistics, it's even harder because this is an Oregon State team that outgained Sam Houston 474 to 157. Sam Houston had 8 first downs in this game, and Anthony Hankerson ran for $166 and 2 scores. If you would have told me those would be the numbers, I'm like, hey, layup, we got to win. Coach, when you watch this thing unfold, what was the biggest disappointment from the Beavers' loss in your mind?
Special teams.
Yeah.
kickoff return to start the second half, up 17-7. At one time, up 17-0. That got the game within a one score. Blocked punt for a touchdown, 21-17. I thought they should have kept running the ball, to be honest with you. The defense played well. The defense played really well for the most part. And they have, under this new regime here the last 3 weeks, they played well. But offensively, I thought they could have run for, I don't think they ever had to even throw the ball, and they could have won that football game. I know that Sam Houston started to load the box more, but it didn't really matter. They pretty much destroyed themselves on special teams. That has been their Achilles heel a lot of this year, and in that particular game, it really hurt them, and they still should have won.
It was this seesaw of emotions at the end that honestly made no sense. My heart goes out to, because it's just more games are lost than are won. And right now, Oregon State cannot get out of their own way. And the one game they didn't get in their own way, Washington State game, and they won.
I know. Look, we got a conversation on the Ducks and the Dogs coming up here. Just really quick here, Nige, because you've been around this Oregon State team in person the last couple of weeks, a lot of their games on the CW. I'm just curious, when you're there and you're seeing these losses pile up, what's your read on the players? Like, are dudes checked out at this point?
No, that's the
Okay.
part that's like, I got to give it up to Coach Akey, is like they were excited. They were bouncing around before the game. I think the fan base is starting to check out a little
Yeah.
bit, but there's energy from the players. I've really been impressed with Malik Murphy. Like, he's got a smile on his face. I see him talking to Jabari Johnson and talking to guys on the sideline. He's engaged. So I think that is not the issue. Execution and just getting the heck out of your own way is the problem.
Yeah. I wonder what's going to happen with this coaching search and an infusion of energy for a program that desperately needs some positive results. We'll see if that happens against Tulsa on the road. We got that game pick coming up. Back here on Northwest Football Preview, Nick Aliotti, Nigel Burton, and Mike Yam with you. I hate to say it, man, a little bit of moving week. Nigel, 3-0 last week. Coach Aliotti, oh, God, sounds like I'm playing favorites because I am 0-3 last week. But look, we got more time here. We got more time. All right, Oregon State, let's get right to these picks here. They are a 1.5-point favorite on the road against Tulsa. A little bit of a head scratcher here. Coach Aliotti, are you believing in the Beavs?
Oh, my God. No, I cannot pick the Beavs. I've picked them a lot of times. I mean, I would, if they played Sam Houston again next week, I would still pick the Beavs, but I cannot pick the Beavs on the road against whoever.
Yeah. You got burned. You were upset with the Sam Houston result. Nige, I got to imagine you're going the same way.
I just have one question. What is a golden hurricane? I mean, I think Vegas just looked at the fact that they were playing the Golden Hurricane and said, we don't know what the hell a Golden Hurricane is. It doesn't sound right. But no, I'll take the whatever color hurricanes.
All right, fair enough. Washington State, we got a Cougs team that is 8.5-point favorites at home. This one you can catch on the CW. Nigel will be on the call. You will not be making an official pick on air. That pick will come off air. I know. Look, not the rules that I set. It's just the rules that we're going to play by. So, Coach Aliotti, who do you like?
I'm going to go with Louisiana Tech because I know what Nigel's thinking. I'm going with Louisiana Tech. Nigel said they had some cats. They get some turnovers. Go Bulldogs.
Oh, okay. So we'll find out next week how this one plays out. By the way, don't forget you'll be able to see Nigel's smiling face on the CW for this one. All right, Boise State and San Diego State. We got a Boise team that's on the road for this one. San Diego State, a 2.5-point favorite. Nige, who's your team?
Go Broncos. Go Broncos. There's one team in that conference that has their number, and it ain't San Diego State. It's just a little up the road there. So I think the Broncos going to San Diego come out with a dub.
Coach?
I'm going to go with the Broncos. I'm a Bronco believer.
Boise
How
State
you gonna
coming off
catch up if you keep matching all my picks, Coach?
Well,
Can't catch up
how am I
if you do
going
it
to
that way.
fall? I'm going to fall way further
He's
behind.
further behind. At least he's going with his gut here. Boise coming off of a bye. We'll see if they can get it done. Always appreciate everyone checking us out here. We'll do it again next week.